Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So today we're going to talk about how we know Russia was trying to take the whole country. Not think, not suspect. We know that that's what their goal was. Right now, they're saying that that's not what they wanted. They never meant to take the capital. They were just going to settle for this little area. And I have made no secret of the fact that I think that is them being economical with the truth. They've made that up. I've had a lot of people say, well, how do you know that? You can't possibly know that. Yeah, no, I do know that. The easiest way would be to explain what it looks like when you're trying to take over a country, how you would go about taking it over. But that would require giving a giant class in military strategy. But you could just trust me in the fact that what they did is what it looks like when you're trying to take over the whole country. But it's easy for me to say that standing here today, right? It'd be better if I'd said it before the war, like on February 10th. In a video called Let's Talk About the Futures of Ukraine and Russia. In that video, I'm explicit about the fact that at that time, we didn't know they were trying to take the whole country. But I described what it would look like if they were trying to take the whole country. That's the whole premise of that video, is describing what it would look like and the possible outcomes. It looks like, short version, exactly what happened. Said it would open with a strong air and artillery game, which is what happened. Didn't go so well because Russia didn't actually secure superiority. They're a near peer, not a peer. From there, in the video, I say that they would open up with 3 lines of advance. They opened up with 4 because they were way overconfident. And they paid for it. I talk about how if Ukraine put up a small fight and then fell back, that they might be able to stop them during the advance. And if they do that, they have a chance of winning. Incidentally, that's exactly what happened. They stopped them before they got to the capital and were able to start the occupation. So that's why you're seeing the developments you are today. I also talk about something that was presented to me by another analyst, somebody who's really good. And they're like, there's also the idea that they could just try a decap strike and try to take the capital from the air. And in the video, I'm making fun of it. I'm like, that's really unlikely. Basically, because nobody's that bad. The Russians proved us wrong. That is, if you tried to take it from the air, that's paratroopers, right? And that's exactly what they tried. And I made fun of it in the video because that's just a good way to waste paratroopers. And that's what happened. The idea that they weren't trying to take the capital it's made up. It's a lie. It's them trying to make themselves feel better. That was absolutely the goal. If you go back to the video recorded before the shooting started that describes what it would look like, that's their exact operational template, including the stuff that I thought was just too ridiculous to actually do because they can't secure the air. They're not the U.S. They don't have that air power. And that's the other part of it. They gave their opposition a month to prepare. They knew it was coming. And then they went in anyway. Something else that was brought up in the video. That's a bad move. It's such a bad move that when you watch the video, I'm doubtful that Putin would invade. Because that's a huge error. You don't do that. They're not the U.S. The U.S. can do that. The U.S. can say, yeah, we're going to invade on March 2nd at 4 p.m. And there aren't really any countries that can stop the outcome from that. Russia isn't the U.S. Giving that kind of lead up, that kind of warning, huge error. And they're paying for it. I'll put the video down below. Go watch it, look at the date. That's what it looks like. If they wanted to just take certain regions, they would have just moved into those regions. They wouldn't run a distraction operation, wasting millions upon millions of dollars in equipment and thousands of lives. If this was a distraction, they're even worse generals. They're even worse planners. Because if this was a distraction, it just means they failed even harder. To anybody who understands military strategy, to anybody who understands the operational aspects of this, saying that that was a distraction just makes you look worse, not better. It makes you look completely incompetent. They tried. They failed because they gave Ukraine too much warning, because they counted on that toe-to-toe battle up front that Ukraine didn't give them. Ukraine pulled back, and they did it well enough. They fought deep, and because of that, they actually still have conventional forces, which that's the only thing that's surprising. The only thing that is surprising about how this has turned out is that Ukraine still has conventional forces. They have more tanks now than when they started. That's the only surprising aspect. What Russia did is the exact template that I outlined in that video, because that's what it looks like if you're trying to take the whole country. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.